Of this 1990 Ford. Just to give a little overview of how we got this van, it was purchased back in 2019 from someone who was super friendly and kept it actually in its original state with the blue paint and dark blue carpets and seating. So just to give you guys an overview of how this van works, we're going to start with the front of the house. So here we have a very spacious front. We personally have made traditional sun covers for this van, which we actually store down here thanks to all the space that we have. In the middle we have this fridge that we'll go more into details about, and we have this center console where we keep our coffees, phones, anything that we need to grab here. And these chairs are super comfy. They used to be able to rotate, however, because of the fridge we are unable to do so, but the fridge adds a huge plus. The fridge also allows us to charge our phones. So here we have a USB, so it's super easy. Phone never dies. The GPS is on there. We mount it onto that adapter. And then over to the back of the house, you click this button here, opens up easy. And then this door, we do that and we're out. So here is, if you ever want to picnic outside, this is a great option. This comes down as a table. It can go further into detail later on or in pictures, but today we're just going to do a overview. We have this super nice gray flooring that replaces the original blue carpet, and here we have these curtains. They serve as a privacy curtains, and they're smooth gliding, super easy, and they even connect through magnets that were installed on the inside for sun blocking. Whenever you're on the road, you won't have any sun coming through. That's really super nice plus. Now coming over here into the kitchen area, we have this one long cabinet. It's divided into two. We kept our dishes and groceries up here for the most part, and it locks just so nothing comes flying out. Oops. And they'll stay super sturdy as you're driving. And down here is where we personally have kept most of our pots and pans. And then this side mostly was the water reservoir, and we also have a sink here that contrary to a manual pump, this is an automated pump. So all you have to do is turn on the switch right over here, and that will automatically pump the water and making it super easy. We have our necessities right over on this side, a decor to make it more homey. And then coming right over here, we have this closet area. We took a trip down to California, which was a month trip. So we were able to keep his and hers clothes for up to a month, which worked out perfect. We weren't missing anything. If anything, we have probably overpacked. And right over here, we have a bar area. This bar area served as more of a, you'd say, like, we'd come back here, go to sleep, pop our phones over here, charge them, watch TV, which is right over here. We have the remote there. However, this is the main center also for batteries, which will go more into depth in the description or a video. So we have also a heater system of heat that comes out from under the bed that I'll explain in a bit. So this is mostly the technical center. So coming right over to the other side, we have the bed. The bed averages about a queen-sized bed. It is a two-functional, I guess you'd say two-way bed. So the middle part actually does come up and turn into a table. However, that will be shown in pictures or another video because it is a two-person job or a very concentrated one-person job. So simply, just as an example, these do come up and they go on the sides as back cushions, and then whenever you want to turn it into bed, pop them right back on here. These windows actually do have window covers. For example, this is how the average window will look. It is on there with Velcro, so it's pretty easy to pop off, pop back on. And then here we have, Uri, what's this?
I'll get into that in the
okay, that will be in another video. And this is just a storage area. We have a fire hydrant here for safety purposes. Usually tools are in this area kept just in case for emergencies. You need to change a tire popped, anything like that. That usually just goes there. And in the back is actual storage that will be shown in a later video, where we keep our more kitchen supplies and laundry if anything is ever needed. And when you have the bed in this mode, we usually kept it in that mode pretty often. It actually served as extra storage. We usually just put another box in there, and that was a space for sweaters, anything extra that we needed. So any other details and more specific details will be shown throughout the description, other photos, or another video. Thank you. Hi everyone, this is another video that will be more in depth of the technical stuff and advances this truck has.
So right here we have an option to either charge the batteries using an extension cord that plugs in here. Right here you will plug in just in case you are at a campsite that has a plug-in option. Okay. So right here we have 4 spotlights. These have 2 settings. They have fog lights as well, and also they have hazards. You turn them on the cab. There's a switch box on the top, and that's how you turn them on. And if you come over here, right over there, you can see there's a backlight too. Usually we leave that on when we're working in the back at night and we're storing some stuff. Okay. So at the top of the van, we have a max fan. And also we have 300 watts of power by solar. So right here we have a charger that we could turn on and off, and it would charge your phone. We have the light switches for the power lights on top. We also have an inverter in here. An inverter. I don't know much about, but we connected the inverter into 3 outlets. One over here, there's 1 outlet, an outlet over here, and 1 more over here, behind here, right over there. And to turn on the, yeah, that's fine. To turn on the inverter, all you have to do is press this button right here in the back, right behind the TV. You hold it for 2 seconds and it turns on, and now these will have power. Okay. So as we said, there's the inverter right here. These are the connections. On top of here, which is hard to see, we have a DC to DC connection, which will charge the battery, this battery, while the other battery, which is the starter, is turned on. So while you're driving, this battery will charge as well. And right here we have the on and off. So if you're working on any electrical stuff, you just turn off here. That turns off the battery. And up here we have the on and off switch for the solar. Right here we have the kill switch over here. If this ever goes off, everything would turn off and you just turn it back on. Here are the fuses. We label them all here. We have about 6 fuses. And down here we have the connection for the car batteries. So right here we have the fog lights and the spotlights at the front are connected to here. And we have a Battleborn 100 amp hour battery, lithium, stored in here, which is just enough for us. We never really kill the battery. We we were in here all day charging, having stuff connected to the inverter. Nothing really died. We also have a fan on top of here.
Yeah.
You wanna?
Oh, we also were doing school, so considering that we had laptops, phones on all day, it does really say a lot about the battery.
So right here we have a max fan. Now to turn it on, it has a bunch of settings. It has in and out, and it also has different kinds of speeds. It has automatic as well. This you could have it on while driving the highways. We actually slept here one time at night. When it was raining, we had this fan on because it has a cover on top, so no water gets in.
It was a cool breeze.
Yeah.
So a little more information about the bed. I did say it's about an average queen size bed. However, I do want to give you guys a little more information for better visuals. I am personally 5'3",
And I'm
5 feet.
And I'm 5'10", and I fit just about right.
Yeah, almost like a glove.
Like here.
And this bed is 100% super comfortable. Even sometimes if we stayed in a different place, we rather prefer to be in the van. This bed was pretty much handmade. We made these out of thrifted fabric, and what we did is we installed zippers for just in case if there's ever any stains, it is easy to come out and wash. However, thankfully we haven't had any stains or anything or any spills that were enough to do a full wash.
So under the bed, we have these storages. Over here, this is the perfect spot for the heater. So we have a diesel heater over here, which blows hot air down here. So if anything happens, sometimes these have a problem, a heating problem, which we never had, but sometimes you gotta work on it. And then we have another storage over here. This is a lot bigger, and this we use for storage.
Oh, we put our shoes in there.
Yeah, we put our shoes in here when we were traveling.
Shoes that we constantly wouldn't be grabbing. We also kept our shoes in a pretty convenient spot right over here, where if let's say we had our hiking boots and there was sand or anything and we didn't want to get it inside the van, we just pop them right under here and we'd change our shoes on our way in and on our way out. So right now we are going to show you the conversion of a full bed over to a table, which is super nice if you're ever in an area where you can't find a picnic table, such as many national parks that are pretty limited. This is a great option. You have windows all around you to see the nature, and you could open your windows, have a nice breeze, and this is a great option. Also, to keep distance from other people and stay in your safe pod, this is an amazing option. We have the legs here.
And also, well, usually we store the legs over here. But while it's up, as you can see the heater easily. And also you could see where the heater, the air goes in here. Over here, and the heater, and also this cart came with some extra fans. There's one over here, one over there, and one back here. We usually don't keep these on because we have this one. This is more than enough.
Taking it down is just about an easy process as putting it back up. Again, this is a much easier two-person job, and one person can handle it. It's just a little tiny bit of more struggle, as you can see. But there you go, just an idea. We're just gonna pop it back there behind the closet. This is gonna go there into the middle. The table is held up by some extra wood that you can see right there. It basically just holds it up. It goes all around the middle, that little extend part. And boom, then there you have a very comfy bed.
So over here, for the heater, the diesel heater, we have the tank behind this panel right here. It's a 10-liter tank. You fill this up with diesel. There's a snorkel down here, so no fumes go in the cab inside the back living area. So while the heater is on, we have this door closed because the hoses are here. There's an electrical and also the pump hose, and then the snorkel leads out here, so the fumes and anything just comes straight out. So over here we have the panel for the diesel heater. You turn it on and off through here, and it's a LED. It also came with a remote, so you could turn this on while you're about 15 feet away from your vehicle. You could turn it on just in case it's getting pretty cold. So right here we have the sink. For the sink we cut a mixing bowl. Look, come here. We cut a mixing bowl. You cut a hole down in the middle. You cut a drain right here. This completely stops the water. So whenever you're washing dishes, or you just don't want to throw out the water yet, because this goes directly down to the bottom. There's a hole directly down here. Over here is an emergency pee hole. It goes completely down. Yeah, this is our bathroom, and it goes straight out.
Because you will find yourself in various situations where you're just simply driving, cannot stop, or there is no gas station nearby. So when worst comes to worst, you use the pee hole.
Yeah, and this is the faucet. When it's on, pretty loud. It has a pump down here at the bottom. And the water just goes straight down.
And as someone who constantly did the dishes back here, the pressure is absolutely great, because we might leave the dishes overnight to do it in the morning, and that sticky stuff that just doesn't want to come off the plates will quickly get off the plates with no problem thanks to that pressure.
Yeah, and like we said, this is the on and off switch. Right now it's on, and if I turn it off, it's just gonna drain, and then nothing else is gonna happen until I switch it on. And there you go.
And we have worked with manual pumps before. That was our first choice. However, we decided to opt for a manual pump just because it's so much easier, a lot easier to wash our hands with, especially nowadays. It's super important to wash your hands as soon as you come into the van, and it's just a perfect addition to the van.
Alright, and this is the fridge right here. Right now it's on. Since we just turned it on, it has to cool down to whatever temperature we pick over here. We just unlock it, and then you could change the temperature you want. During the trip, we stored meats in here. We store about milk, anything.
Ice cream cake.
Ice cream cake, yeah. It'll keep it cool as long as you just know what temperature you want it. If you want cold, like if you're storing ice cream cake, we use a low temperature down here. And then this is actually 12 volts. So we connect this straight to the battery, so you don't need the inverter on to have this on always. It has an eco setting, which barely used any batteries during our trip. Sometimes it's late at night and the solar panel is not getting any energy. This won't kill the battery overnight.
More information about this fridge. It actually holds about 54 quarts, and the way we separated our food in this fridge was we kept condiments in this little section. As you can see, it's actually pretty deep, and we held our meats, eggs, anything that was a larger size would go in the main section. We did live off of food pretty well with this fridge alone. We took a trip down to California and even still had food from when we bought food from the beginnings parts of the trip. We were often in off-grid areas where we had nothing around us to purchase food or anything. However, everything that we needed was mostly held in this fridge. That was an absolute lifesaver. Relatively, this fridge is pretty quiet. It hasn't disturbed us in any rest stop naps, any sleeping throughout the night. or in the morning. And if you ever just don't want to see it when you're back here for some reason, again, you are able to close it.
And also, we talk about the noise. If you're worried about the noise, you're gonna be sleeping in parks, you're gonna be sleeping in gas stations, so you gotta get used to the noise no matter what.
That's very true.
There's cars going by, there's trucks going by, people talking.
Animals.
You know, with this van, it's kind of hard to note that there's someone sleeping in it. So we usually park this stealthily in places you're not supposed to park, like Colorado Springs. And no one would find out because it's blacked out. You have blackout curtains and
blackout windows.
Yeah, and everything, and no one would know. It's pretty much stealthy. So over here are the switches we were talking about earlier. These two control the front spotlights. They're super bright. This is the fog lights, and those are the hazards. Kind of hard to see. This third one is actually the backup camera and also the front camera. So it turns on and off. This is connected to the lithium battery. These two spotlights are connected to the car battery, the starter. And over here is actually the back camera. The back camera is connected to the lithium battery. So the reason because of this is usually when you use the spotlights and the fog lights is when the car is on. So there's no point in using this when the car is off. For the camera, I like to have the camera on when we sleep, just in case anything happens. It records overnight, doesn't drain the battery. I have it on weeks on weeks, and it keeps recording. It overlaps. It's a really good system to have.
We haven't been traveling recently, however this thing is still on. We just have a little notice, and we actually bought this camera pretty close to the time that the van was bought, so it has lasted us a very long time, and it has been very reliable in recording pretty close accidents. So how this camera works is like most cameras do nowadays. If there is any movement while you're sleeping, the van will automatically, or the camera will automatically record and save it in a preserved and secured file that won't be deleted. And it's more of an emergency recording, just so like if we ever wake up and we check the cameras, we'll know if somebody or something was around to harm us. And that's just the way to view different views of the camera, whether you want a split screen or main screen.
Yeah, and this is the front view right here, and this is the back view. Both of them are recording. The back one just looks like that because there's a car directly right behind the camera. And you could just turn it off through here. It turns it off.
Ready? We do want to give you guys a point of view when driving in the van. Just want to show there is a lot of room. This has replaced the armrests that were once here. The armrests had to be removed in order to install this, but it's still a perfect armrest.
It feels really good when you're driving. I usually put my elbow over here and just cruise. This car still has cruise control that still works. Surprisingly, it's a 30-year car and it still works. So during long drives, I just have cruise control and just relax. Right here, we open up to some snacks, whatever we have. Usually we have some water, some cookies, anything you need for a long drive. And it still works and still turns on just like that. Since the first day I got it, always turns on the first go. No problems. We drove this so many miles and still no problems.
Yeah, we took a trip up to Maine, no problems. Went to California, back, no problems. Everything has just been smooth sailing. These are the lights, for example. As you can see, there's still quite a bit of light out. However, we did want to show you the van in various different lighting settings. Currently, there's still some light out, and this is how it looks. Super homey. I've always loved the addition to these ceiling lights. They really do add a more of a home away from home vibe. We were blessed and fortunate enough to have family host us throughout our cross-country trip. However, we constantly felt that we were out of place because this van honestly was our home. So we would lay in bed and just think, wow, this would be a lot better sleeping in the van. But thankfully we were fortunate to have some days outside of the van to be able to stretch. But look how beautiful this looks. This back area kind of reminds me of an attic at home. It is a unfinished room or area. However, it does serve its main purpose. So we personally have our griddle here, our propane here, a hammock to keep us pretty cozy in the camp areas.
This was stacked. Right now we're taking a bunch of stuff out. This could store a bunch of stuff. We did have
our dirty laundry back over here. So whenever you purchase this van, you will have to put in your griddle here. It is ideal since it is a larger space for such griddle. Something that we did find ourselves constantly doing is taking the griddle, which is down here, and cooking right in this area. There is plenty of space to go over there. Come over here through the back.
There's a bunch of space. Usually we would sit crisscross applesauce over here with the griddle in the middle. We'll be cooking. We use this as
a prepping table.
As prepping as well.
So there is definitely a lot of space to cook and prep anything you need, whether it be a whole meal, a simple meal, pancake breakfasts.
And there's just a bunch of floor area. You could literally just lay down here. You could set up another blanket area if you don't have storage down here and have someone sleep down here.
And this floor is super smooth, really nice, super easy to keep clean. So this is definitely a spot where you'd have no issue sitting on, laying on, or anything.
And it's actually waterproof as well, so if you drop water, it would just go to the edges. You gotta clean it up before that happens.
Ready? Thank you so much for tuning in and staying throughout the whole video. If you have any questions, please let us know and we'll be more than happy to help and answer any questions.
Thank you.